lovers, book readers, book friends. Welcome to Read This Book. I'm your book hostess, LaShonda, bringing you this week's book review of Circle of Deceit by Kasey Martin. This book review is also sponsored by The Bags Under My Eyes, also known as Kasey Martin. Why? Because I started reading this book at 10 p.m. last night and I did not finish until 4 a.m. this morning because I was that emotionally invested in this book. Because Kasey Martin did that. She wrote the hell out of this book, y'all. So what is Circle of Deceit about? I can't even tell you about it because my glasses don't even want to go on right. This is how she has had my whole day just thrown off, just all off kilter, just a mess because I had to stay up all night and read this book. Circle of Deceit. What is it about? Okay, first and foremost, if infidelity is a trigger for you, you don't want to read this book because there's some infidelity going on in here. So I'm just going to give you that disclaimer. I'm going to give you that little spoiler. And okay, so you can stop listening now, or you can be like, well, hold up, let me get a pen. I got notes, y'all. I got notes. So what is it about? It is about these two couples, Alexander and Raquel, and Giselle and Noah. They meet at a swingers resort. Yeah. So you already know it's about to be some fuckery. You're damn right it is. So Alexander and Raquel go to this resort. Raquel did not want to go. She did not want to do it, but she is trying to save her marriage. And she is bartering with her husband Alexander that, okay, after they have this experience, this, last thing to spice up the marriage, that they will finally work on starting their family. And so that is the only reason why she agreed to go to the resort, is because she wanted to have a baby. Alexander is a first class, manipulative, selfish SOB. Okay? Raquel is just sad. She is sad. She is sad. Giselle and Noah is the couple that they hook up with at the resort. Giselle is a not hunger seeking. She is a ego seeking first class schemer. And Noah is clueless. And he's a private investigator. So when they revealed that, I threw my hands up. I was like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. But I'll get into that. So these couples, they meet at this swingers resort and they swap partners. Little did Raquel and Noah know that there was history between Alexander and Giselle. Even though Raquel felt some type of way watching her husband with this other woman, like she felt like, well, wait, you just are way too friendly and just living your best life out here with Miss Thing that you just met. Like she felt something in her gut that wasn't right, but yet she chose to ignore it. And as you're reading the story, you're really starting to get like, Raquel, you're understanding her that she just wanted to be a wife and a mother. She loves her job, what she does. She was just trying to live a simple, wholesome life. She wasn't trying to be out here letting everybody get in her cookie, but she did it for her husband. So they're at this resort. She's with Noah, and Noah is very like, hey, this is what this lifestyle is. Get out your feelings about it. This whole moral high road you're trying to take, because at the end of the day, what's done is done. We done did the dirty. You liked it. She liked it, y'all. She liked it a lot. So she's like, the nerve of you. So as they progress on, her husband decides that he wants to spend the entire rest of their trip with Giselle. And so she was like, okay, well, do you. If you gonna do you, then I'm gonna spend it with Noah. And Noah was like, say less. And I was like, oh, y'all, what's really good? Apparently Noah. But I digress. So as they are wrapping up and are heading back, Raquel is having all these feelings, like this regret of, the regret of going to this resort and realizing that, hey, her marriage isn't really all that she thought that it is. Like, her husband is not who she thought he was. And so they get back, and now Raquel is trying to deal with, you know, her feelings of this resentment and remorse of, you know, feeling like her marriage is over. Her and Alexander have some words, because Alexander got all of his feelings when she was like, Noah put it down. So he got all of his feelings and stuff, and they have a huge fight. Again, Alexander is a first-class manipulative SOB. And all the while, you know, Raquel, you're really like understanding that, okay, she doesn't want to give up on her marriage. They've been married a long time. You know, she really wants to have her family. She's going to give him one more try, just one more college try. And they go to counseling, and child, woo, the bombs that was dropped in there. And girlfriend was like, and I'm done. I flip it, take me out the oven. I am done. So her life is falling apart. Her job is giving her hell. You know, she's just like, what's next? Like, man, child, she shouldn't have asked. Because let me tell you, Alexander and Giselle, them two got to plotting, and it was not pretty. And that's when you find out that Noah is a private investigator. And I'm like, Noah, how you a private investigator and you don't see the signs? He didn't see the signs because he was clueless. He felt like as long as he understood his wife, he knew that she was a free spirit, and that if he, you know, indulges her whims, you know, he takes her on trips, he puts her in this nice house, he gives her things, buys her money, he keeps her laced. Pretty much, she's a kept woman. That, you know, everything should be all good. Like, I ain't got no reason to check her. But when he discovered that he needed to check her, woo, all hell broke loose. And unfortunately, all hell broke loose on Raquel. Y'all, when I tell you she is put through the ringer, when I tell you you're going to be reading this book and you're going to be like, well, damn, sis, what's next? And Kasey was like, oh, hold on. Let me add this to the story. When I tell you, when I got to about, I don't know, Kendall likes to tell you where you're at in the book. I think I was like 60-70%. I was so into this story. I was cursing at this book. I was talking to this book. I wanted to just teleport into a book and throat punch Alexander. I listen, 4 o'clock in the morning, y'all, 4 o'clock. I was that invested in this book because I had to know how the story was going to end, because you got Alexander and Giselle that's plotting, but Noah is discovering these things about his wife, but he's also emotionally invested in Raquel. And so when he starts putting things together, he goes to her, and again, all hell breaks loose. And I'm just like, this girl can't catch a break for nothing. Oh, she is put through the ringer, y'all. So on one hand, like I'm praying for her, like, girl, please get it together. Please don't let nothing else happen to her. Please, please, please. And the more that I pleaded for her, just the more of the foolishness that was revealed, just the level of treachery, Like, Alexander would not walk away. He would not sign the divorce papers. And I'm just like, but you don't even want her. You out here playing games. When I tell you the things that Alexander did when everything was being revealed, I was just like, oh, no, the hell. Oh, child, Kasey Martin has written a book that can literally be an episode of Dateline. Like, I can see Lester Holt just giving the play-by-play. That's how good this book is. That's how deep the story is. Because on the surface, it makes you think like, oh, it's just about this couple who chose another couple to swing with. It is not. It is all types of foolishness. We got the sexy, we got the drama, we got the betrayal, we got infidelity, we got, woo, lies, secrets, and videotapes. Girl, lions, tigers, and bears, all of it wrapped up in this book. And she has written it in such a way that it literally does feel like you are watching an episode of a crime show. And you are emotionally invested. But she also sprinkled in some little life lessons in there if you want to pick them up and roll with them. But in case you don't, let me just throw a couple at you, because again, this is the genius of the book. Because while everything is happening to Raquel, and Raquel is dealing with her feelings and dealing with coming to terms with things, I'm just like, girl, when your gut say, you need to listen to your gut. So here's a life lesson for you, and one that you should know, and I'm gonna tell you anyway, because some people still out here playing games. Honey, a baby will not fix a failed marriage, a broken relationship. It will not. A baby will not fix that, okay? Let's just keep it real. It don't. You gonna be stuck with this child and still stuck with foolishness. Let's not do that, okay? Another life lesson: trust your gut. When something don't add up and something don't make sense, something makes you uncomfortable, acknowledge it, accept it, and be like, hey, I need to make a move according to how I feel. Not trying to rationalize out like, oh, I love him and he's my husband and we've been married for 15 years and he's all I ever know. Girl, your gut is like, run, fool, run. Don't sit there and walk into the room with all the knives at. Don't do that. Don't do that. Now, little life lesson for you. Don't lose yourself in relationships. And that's precisely what Raquel had done. She was so focused on making sure her husband was happy and being a good little wife, you know, that she basically yielded her freedom in a sense. She yielded who she was. She didn't even know herself sexually, herself, like what she wanted out of life other than being a wife and a mother, that all these things that she put on hold to please this man. Don't lose sight of yourself in a relationship. You are still a person and you still matter and you are still important. Your hopes and dreams and ambitions and everything that you were, that you brought to that relationship still matters. Girl, Kasey Martin sprinkled that in there, but she didn't preach to you like I just did. She wrote it in subtle. But I wanted to just bring it to your attention in case you kind of glossed over it, because you're going to be like, no, the hell Alexander didn't, just because you're going to be caught up. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention, you know, because Kasey Martin. Listen, Circle of Deceit is an excellent read. If you want a book that reads like a movie, like an episode of Dateline, like an episode of First 48, but it's got sexy in it, it's got characters that are so manipulative, it's so just, ugh. But it's a happily ever after ending. I will tell you that. I'm not going to tell you with who and how and what for, because you need to read the book to find out. And you need to read everything so that you can really truly appreciate the ending of the story. Because like I said, Raquel to me was just really, really sad and almost pathetic in a way with how she was in this book. But as things start happening to her and she starts coming to terms with things, you see her get her strength and her resilience. Like I said, Alexander and Giselle, child. Noah was a breath of fresh air. I like the fact that he wasn't like super alpha male. He was comfortable with who he is and comfortable with what he can bring to a relationship and comfortable with his knowledge and what he was. And when he needed to like step up and flex, he stepped up and flexed. But he wasn't just like, I'm out alpha male and you know, I'll handle it and, you know, just be quiet, woman. He wasn't anything like that. He had a quiet strength and a steely resolve that I really loved, and I found that refreshing about him. Other than the fact that I just like, how you gonna be a private investigator and don't know your wife is a hoe? But okay, enough about that. But friends, read this book. And when you read this book, I want you to come back and I want you to comment on this video. I want you to slide into my DMs and be like, girl, you tried to tell me. And I'm like, yeah, I did. book friend, I did. And while you at it, go ahead and slide into Kasey Martin's DM too. Yeah, let her know that you read the book and Alexander just got you all vexed and you all emotionally invested in this book and you can't go to sleep and you got to go to work and you got children and everything else, but she got you up all types of night. Don't let me be the only one that was up all night reading this book. Join me, book friends. Join me. So this is my review of Circle of Deceit by Kasey Martin. It is excellent. It is fire. It is, like I said, it's got the sexy, it's got the drama, it's got the betrayal, it's got suspense, it's got a happily ever after, but honey, getting to that point is well worth the read. All right? So until next time, book friends, read a good book.